Alrighty, good Friday morning, Mid-Michigan. I'm First Alert meteorologist Matthew Mondro here, checking in with a First Alert update. Now for this live stream here at 10:30, we are going to be tracking just a lot of the road conditions that we currently have. It has certainly been quite the morning so far. I'll say too, I've been working here at TV5 for almost 5 years now. I think this is probably one of the iciest events that I can recall in these years that I've been working here so far. So definitely quite a morning with these conditions that we've had so far. Freezing rain picked up between about 4 and 5 o'clock this morning, pretty much right on schedule with what we were expecting here for today as well. So pretty much going forward here through the remainder of the morning, we're still going to hold on to these icy conditions. I will say here, once we go into the afternoon, we do expect these conditions to start to improve a little bit more. Now something kind of cool here that I do want to show you real quick. Even though the freezing rain has been very dangerous for our roads, it does create some very cool ice formations. So take a look at this. This is our camera that we have at the Fabiano Brothers building. This is at US 10 and Mackinac Road. I've moved this camera down and pointed it towards one of the trees that they have there, right towards the front entrance of the Fabiano Brothers building. Pretty cool, actually. You can see the icicles that have formed on the branches. There are a lot of trees right now that look like this because of the freezing rain, but it's also from the same sort of process, which is as to why we've had these icy roads like we've seen so far this morning. So certainly something that we do want you to still use some caution with in regard to a lot of the ice that we have out there. I'll go ahead and take you to another look here. This right here is 675. This is right next to the Dow Event Center, so you can see the Commerce Tower in the background. Washington Avenue is also running there in the background as well. But you'll notice here there are no cars going from right to left on this screen grab. So this is, again, right near the Dow Event Center. Cars going from right to left here would be going on that northbound section of 675. So the latest that we have seen is that this northbound section of 675 is still closed as of right now after exit 2. So that's an area that you will still need to avoid for the time being. There was a crash there earlier this morning, semi-crash, and that was what blocked up that section of freeway. There were actually some cars that were stuck on that section of freeway for almost 2 hours this morning. So certainly very, very icy out there even for many of these areas right now. And I'll say even right here, our studio is in downtown Saginaw. I've been looking outside of our studio on Franklin and Genesee Avenues. Both of those roads, you can actually clearly see the ice on top of the pavement. So it is still very icy out there for some of these areas with temps that have been rated right below freezing for the morning. That is part of the reason why we have seen just all of these icy conditions developing for us. I'll take you over here to the First Alert Pinpoint Doppler. And you might be able to hear here in the background on the microphone as well. The rain is still falling very heavily in Saginaw, and our temperatures here in Saginaw are right at about freezing, but anything that's iced up is still just going to continue to be iced up even more. You have plenty of activity going on here on the First Alert Pinpoint Doppler as well. Now, some of what it's showing as snow, especially around Whittemore and Standish, is still going to be falling as freezing rain, or at the very least some sleet. The purple shading, that is sleet, and then the pink, that is freezing rain. Take a look at this here. There's actually been a little bit of thunder on the west side of the state as well, so there's even a little bit of convection ongoing with this too. But what we have on the radar here, this is sort of the final push for this freezing rain for today. So once this moves out of here, we do expect conditions to start to improve going into this afternoon. So I will say here, with a look at our road conditions, pretty much right now is still about the worst for these road conditions. I wouldn't be surprised still if some of our southern spots around Flint might see a little more ice, especially some back roads as well. But going into the afternoon, especially after 3 o'clock, that's when I would expect our road conditions to really start to make more improvements. Monitoring the comments here on Facebook too, feel free to leave a comment with a report. Maybe if you have been out this morning on the roads, let me know what you have been seeing or how things have been most recently for your area too. Have been starting to hear some word, especially with some other TV5 employees coming into the building here within about the last 30 minutes, that main roads are starting to do a little bit better, but it is a lot of the side roads, back roads, and residential areas that are still pretty icy as of right now too. So if you do have a report that you'd like to leave, certainly leave that along in the Facebook comments. We love getting those reports from you, and it really does help us out too in just figuring out where everything still stands as of now. I'll take you over to the First Alert traffic map though, so just that reminder that the Zilwaukee Bridge is still completely closed as of right now. We saw the Zilwaukee Bridge close down at about 6 o'clock this morning, and it was pretty much like a flip of a switch. So the freezing rain moved in and everything just iced up very, very quickly, especially right here around Saginaw. There were some reports of some cars that had spun out on the Zilwaukee Bridge and a couple of jackknife semis. First responders came in there and closed that down. So again, that was at about 6 o'clock this morning. But I'll take you right back to the traffic map again. One spot I do want to zoom in here, even though we don't have a report of a crash, at least formally on the map, we are seeing a pretty significant slowdown on I-75 northbound. That's just to the north of Bridgeport, or just to the north of exit 144. There was actually a car fire in about the same, or a truck fire in the same area at the end of this last weekend on Sunday. So this is also right near King Road where that goes over the freeway. So if you do have any information on that area too, we'd love to hear about that, but at least with the way this looks on the traffic map, this does appear that we do have a crash in that area too. I'll move us up north as well, around Standish, West Branch, Whittemore, Hale, and Rose City. A lot of those areas are pretty icy right now, even around Tawas City and Oscoda. I did get a report from a viewer named Don in the Tawas area earlier this morning. He was saying that the sleet that was initially falling there was actually freezing to the roadway too. So again, all in all, just very icy for some of those areas. Certainly just a morning here where if you don't have anywhere to go, it's best if you just stay in for now and stay off of these roadways. Let the road treatments get to work. Let the road crews keep putting those treatments down as well. I'll take you back into more of the middle section of our area again. So towards Clare, Mount Pleasant, those areas very icy, as well as around Banax. One of the spots though that's been doing pretty decent here throughout the morning so far has been Flint. Part of that is because air temperatures in Flint have been hovering right at about 32 degrees, and I'll show you this here. These current temps in Flint still at 32, as well as Lapeer and Owasso, so that is part of the reason why those areas have just been sort of squeaking by, at least with the main roads. Around Davison, though, we are seeing some slick spots on M15 between Davison and Otisville, so that's right over near the Holloway Reservoir, too. Lapeer, north of Lapeer on M24 towards Deerfield Township, we still do have some icy spots there. But towards Swartz Creek, Duran, Vernon, Owasso, Perry, all not doing too bad, at least as indicated here with our drive times as of right now. We'll still monitor this for the rest of the morning, and with this final sort of push of rain that's moving through our southern areas right now, I still wouldn't be surprised if we do happen to see some more icy areas developing. But with those temps at 32 and with more road treatments being put down, some of these southern spots may be able to squeeze by okay. But if you do have any travel, at least in your future here, that takes you into Oakland County, so we're looking closer to Waterford, I-75 is starting to get a little bit slick in those areas too. That's also south of Ortonville. So if you have any travel that's going to take you in those spots, maybe after lunchtime here, keep in mind you still may encounter some ice in some of those spots. And that's sort of that hilly section of 75 in Oakland County, closer to Waterford. So again, if that's an area that you have to travel to, it is expected to be pretty icy. But what we have right now, again, is sort of the last push of this rainfall moving through. So going towards the afternoon, we do expect some of those conditions to improve just a little bit more. We'll take a quick break here, though, real quick. I'll take a drink of water as well. When we come back from the break, we'll go over the hour by hour, and we'll talk about more of what to expect as we head into the upcoming weekend with that extended forecast. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back after that. 'After 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 that. ' Alrighty, welcome back from that break. I'm First Alert meteorologist Matthew Mondro, if you're just happening to tune in here. But we've been tracking some very icy conditions so far this morning. Again, this is some of the worst ice that I can recall here in the last couple of years as well. So some of these spots got very icy very quickly, and along with the ice and all of the road impacts that we've been seeing, we've actually had a number of power outages as well starting to develop here, even in parts of the TV5 viewing area. So I am monitoring this on the Consumers Energy map. So we've had a fairly sizable outage in Ogama County since early this morning. That officially came in this morning, at least closer to about 7 or 7:30. That's just to the east of M33 and south of M55. So kind of getting into the Prescott area, also around Skidway Lake in those areas. So we've had a pretty sizable outage there since earlier this morning. There are a number of outages also on the west side of the state, just outside of our area, closer to Big Rapids and Canadian Lakes, and even near the lake area of Clare County. So that's on the west side of Clare County near US 10 heading in the direction of Ever. But even right near Clare, we've had some power outages this morning. There's also an outage along M20 to the west of Mount Pleasant. So this is going west on M20 towards the Deerfield area. And there's also a pretty sizable outage around the Blanchard and Wyman areas this morning, also near Roland Center, and we do have a couple of outages near Riverdale and Elwell this morning. So all some spots that we've had some outages, and then a couple of spotty outages throughout southern Midland County as of right now, and there is an outage near Standish, just south of Standish. So if you know where the connector is on US 23 that goes from I-75 over towards Standish, so it's exit 188. There is an outage in that area as well. So we're just going to still expect some of these outages to develop here, especially for the late morning. Might be in some of the same areas that we already have them, just as we still have more of this freezing rain moving through. I'll take you over to the First Alert Pinpoint Doppler again, just to show you where things are at right now with the radar. So we do have plenty of freezing rain that's been moving through. There's been some sleet at times, but it primarily has been freezing rain. But if we zoom out on the radar, you can sort of see how we're starting to approach the trailing edge of this system now. So we still have a little bit of rain coming in off of Lake Michigan currently, but this is expected to be sort of the last of this rainfall. So even heading towards noon, we will have a lot of this activity starting to slow down for us, and then as we go towards 3 this afternoon, that's when we should see this completely coming to an end. So here's that First Alert hour by hour right now, again showing all the freezing rain that we do have. As we go forward towards about noon today, you see this starting to slow down a bit more, and then there we are by 3 o'clock this afternoon. The freezing rain should be completely done. We still have the cloud coverage holding on, and really that'll be the case for the remainder of the evening after this, is we're just going to hold on to the clouds, but we're completely dry going into the evening and tonight, and we actually are expecting a quiet day into tomorrow. Now we are going to have air temps starting to make their way just up above freezing, about 33, maybe 34, for a couple of hours this afternoon after about 2 or 3 o'clock. So during that late afternoon time frame, especially with more road treatments down, we should see road conditions continuing to improve. Looks like we do have a comment here from Jason and Lori Brown. When should road conditions improve in Ogama County? I would expect in Ogama County, especially those road conditions to improve after about 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon. So sort of in unison with when those temperatures start to come up right above freezing. So any main roads that have been treated, those should be able to get better during that mid-afternoon time frame, again at about 2 or 3 o'clock, and then thereafter too for the rest of the afternoon. But that does go without saying that any untreated roadways going into tonight, because those temperatures will start to fall back below freezing even after about 7 or 8 o'clock this evening. Any roads that are still wet and untreated, those will start to refreeze again as we go into tonight with those temperatures falling back below freezing. Now for tomorrow, we do have a very quiet day in the forecast. 33, mostly cloudy skies, and even our wind should be pretty light tomorrow, just about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now on Sunday, we do have rainfall that'll move into mid-Michigan, 40 degrees, and it actually should even get warmer than that going into Sunday night. So Sunday night should be warmer than the daytime. That system looks like it could be a little bit dynamic as that moves through mid-Michigan, but the key takeaway with that is that we catch that warm sector on Sunday night, so it's still rain, but then Monday morning temperatures are going to fall below freezing again, likely actually seeing temperatures falling throughout the day on Monday. So we'll transition from rain over to snow, and then we'll have a new weather pattern settling in for next week. So next week, I would expect a lot of those conditions to be very similar to what we had at the beginning of this month. So we started off this December pretty cold, below average with our temperatures. We were in the 20s pretty much every day, and we had some sort of continual lake effect chances. So that's what I would expect much of next week to be like, kind of back to those early December conditions like we had. So staying cold, staying below freezing. We'll definitely ring in the new year with some colder weather, but for ice fishers, which I've actually still seen some ice fishers on the Saginaw River, next week those conditions should be even better, with it staying cold continuously like that, building up even more ice, especially as long as we keep some snow off of the ice. That should allow that to build up even more as well. But next week, again, definitely that takeaway is going to be that we will be turning colder from here. Just going through some of the comments that we have on Facebook here. So looks like we have Ethan. Hi, Ethan. I went to CMU with Ethan. He's a meteorologist up in Traverse City. So Ethan, good to hear from you. We have Tammy reporting that it's raining in Reese right now, and Reese is one area that has been pretty icy since the early morning, which I know it's so odd to see rain falling when it's below freezing, say when it's 30 degrees. Now, what we have here with freezing rain is essentially we have what we call a warm nose in the atmosphere. So essentially we have a layer of warm air that's being pushed to the north, but it's aloft, so temperatures at the surface here are still, say, 30 to 32 degrees, but then you have temps that are a few hundred feet off the ground that are about 34 or 35 degrees. So it's just warm enough that it allows the snow that's falling even higher aloft to turn into rain. Then that rain will fall down to the ground, but our freezing layer at the ground is so shallow that essentially the rain just turns into ice and freezes on contact, so it doesn't have enough time to actually turn into snowfall or sleet once again. So that's why you've been seeing that rain falling even with temperatures below freezing. So certainly has been quite the morning with that so far. We do have another report here, comment from Mary Beebe saying, not been on the roads, but we have no power in the Sanford area. I'm going to take a look at our Consumers Energy map. Yeah, it does line up with what we've had here too. There is an outage, especially north of Sanford, up into the Edenville and Wixom Lake areas as of right now too. Looks like Consumers saying they do have a crew assigned to that, but they were saying they don't have a time of restoration, but they are going to have an update for that area no later than 11:15 this morning. So it looks like Consumers should have another update on that in less than 30 minutes. Raining in Flint Township right now. Now, Judith, I will say in Flint Township, we could see those roads just sort of squeaking by, and that's kind of what we've seen all morning long so far with temps that have been right at 32 degrees in Flint. It's been just warm enough there that roads have been faring pretty well. And even checking in on our traffic map, I'll actually pull this traffic map back up for you again. Still looks decent around Flint and Flint Township. The roads there, no doubt, are going to stay wet, but it looks like we might be able to avoid some of the worst with the ice around Flint, given those temperatures really helping out there, especially with the road treatments being put down. But yeah, Cole saying lots of power issues going on, raining in Burton from Katrina, raining in Gladwin right now too from Cherry, or rather Cherry. So certainly is just going to stay pretty wet like this as we go throughout the rest of the morning. And if you do not have anywhere to go, again, we're just sort of urging some caution again. If you don't have anywhere to travel right now, it's best to just stay off these roads, let this freezing rain pass by. It'll be completely done by 3. After that, roads should continue to get even better. And Jamie Conkright saying good amount of ice on our porches, but it does look like it's turning to slush on the road. On Eastman and Midland, the cars look to be driving at normal speed looking from my house. So Jamie, thank you for the report. My dad there commenting too. Thanks, Dad. Yeah, definitely not enough snow to snowmobile right now. Karen Brissett saying just stopped raining outside Coleman. Bay County Road Commission has been hitting it hard from Cole. We have Annie saying that it's raining in Richville right now too. So there's a look at the radar. I've got the radar up on our feed right now. Again, what you see moving in from the west side of the state, that's actually pretty much sort of the trailing edge of this. So this should really slow down by noon today, and then by 3 o'clock, this should be completely out of our area. So that means even by 3 today, the freezing rain should be out of the thumb. Angela Shirley saying in Grand Blanc it's snowing, roads are very icy. So yeah, especially on some secondary roads, residential streets, neighborhoods, those are still going to be pretty slick here for the remainder of the morning as well. Checking in here with the traffic map one last time though. Again, we do have the Zilwaukee Bridge completely closed as of right now, and it is still looking like we have a fairly major backup just to the north of Bridgeport on I-75 northbound. No report of a crash coming in on the map, but at least the way that appears here on the map, that's usually how those crashes look with those traffic flows. So if I do find anything on that, I'll be sure to let you know. But yeah, just pretty icy right now. It's been quite a morning across our area. So we'll go ahead and wrap up this live stream. But again, key times to remember for the rest of the morning here. Noon, the freezing rain really starts to slow down, and then 3 o'clock today, that's when the freezing rain is completely over, and from there, roads should continue to get better, especially as temperatures will come up to about 33 or 34 for a couple of hours this afternoon. So that, plus the road treatments that have been put down, that'll help to melt away more of the ice, but roads no doubt are still going to be wet for the remainder of the day. Well, we hope that you have a great remainder of your Friday morning. Hope you had a great Christmas yesterday too. It was a shame that we didn't have a white Christmas, but still always good to have some easygoing weather like we did for Christmas yesterday. But hope you had a good Christmas, and stay dry out there too. And again, if you don't have anywhere to go right now, it is best to just stay off these roads, let these conditions just play out and move out of our area as well. I'll have another live stream at 12:45 this afternoon on all of these same live stream channels, so that'll be after our noon newscast, and I'll bring you the latest on how roads are looking by then, and also just another update on the radar as well. So we'll see you at 12:45. We'll also see you on noon on TV5 on air for our noon newscast, and again, hope you have a great remainder of your Friday morning.